Welcome back to Will's Knowledge 444. If you're new here, every time back, welcome back. This reading right here is going to be for my Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Venus, rising, North, South, in place from your chart. Hope everyone having a blessed and beautiful day. May God continue to bless each and every one of you all. Thank y'all for liking, for coming, for subscribing. Thank y'all for just being here. I appreciate you all. Let me say this. This is a disclaimer for my video. I'm gonna start doing this for all my video. I'm gonna put it in my description box below. So these readings are for entertainment purposes. Use your discernment. And when it comes to tarot reading, you flip the roles however need to be flipped in your life. Don't look at tarot reading thinking that it's gonna help your heart problem or your if you got some kind of medical issue, seek medical attention because readings is not for that. It's for entertainment purposes. For like if you have a situation in your life, flip the roles however it need to be flipped in your life. Just be mindful of when you watching tarot reading. Don't get upset. Well, some people might get triggered about something that people might be saying and reading. If it triggers you, click off. Find something else to watch. If I say something that triggers you, please feel free to email. Let me know that it triggered you. If you're part of the Soul Tribe. If you're a subscriber. If you just a comic just want to comment something negative, then you're going to get blocked. I ain't with the foolishness, but I know these reading may trigger some people, like I said, if it trigger you, feel free to email me, and, if I say something about a name and it's your name, like, I'm not talking about you, somebody may refer to you as that, but I'm just saying it may refer to a comic. They may be calling you Crazy Betsy or Lunatic Lucy or Fat Sherry or whoever. I don't mean to say it's you. I'm saying that it's a comic in your energy. Maybe somebody be calling you that. Just be mindful when you watching tarot. Use your discernment. Flip the roles however need to be flipped in your life. If y'all need any help on y'all situation, y'all want like to know more on y'all situation, please feel free to email me. My email be in the description box below. I thank y'all once again for liking, for coming, for subscribing, just for being here. Let's get into y'all reading. I am finna to let's do some names for you all. You may know this person, may not know this person. This be everybody in your energy that's around you. This could be a karmic ex. This could be your current person. This could be a co-worker. This could be somebody you don't even know. Somebody done came across your energy. Maybe on social media. Maybe at your workplace, in your community, your neighborhood, your town, city, wherever you stay. We got Rihanna here. We got Jesse or Tyrone. We got Patterson. So my name could be Money. Dobson. Short brown hair. Somebody could have short brown hair. I'm supposed to be in there. But somebody could have short brown hair. So my name could be Sarah. Jim or Jimmy. Let me get two more names from my Capricorn. So my name could be Bad Boy. Jeremiah or Maria. So take the resonate, leave with don't. You may know the person, may not know the person. Like I said, just use your discernment when it comes to tarot reading. Some flip the roles however need to be flipped in your life, switch around, however you need to do it. But let's get into y'all reading. Someone had a lack of Somebody got a lack of long-term wealth and goals. Somebody wants you to lose your long-term wealth and goals. Somebody seeking revenge against you. They doing everything they seeking revenge because they don't want you to have long-term wealth and goals. They is lying, slandering your name, doing all this witchcraft, black magic, voodoo, hoodoo, whatever they trying to do. They seeking revenge on you. Somebody might be trying to kidnap somebody. Somebody may be trying to unlive somebody. Just be mindful when you go out with people, Capricorn. If you dealing with people, if you like going to bars and stuff, make sure you watch your drink. If you got to use the restroom, don't order no drink until you get back. Don't If you thinking you're gonna have more than 2 or 3 drinks, get your Uber there, Uber to the bar and back home, or get a designated driver, somebody that you trust, because somebody's seeking revenge on you because they want you to lose your long-term wealth of gold. They had a lack of planning when it came to you. They got a lack of financial success. They don't want you to have they want you to have lack of, sorry, they want you to have a lack of planning and success in your life. This could be a queen of swords, that's not very truthful and honest, that's very judgment towards you, that ain't very independent, that is ain't got no clear boundaries, that you might be the queen of swords, they want you to lose your long term investment, your long term wealth and goals, because you is very, like, you got clear boundaries, you is very truthful and honest, you very independent, you got direct communication with people. They want you to lose your long term wealth to go. Somebody's getting revenge on you. They don't want to, they don't have some type unfairness with you. Somebody have unfairness. They don't they had a lack of accountability when it came to you. When they person seek revenge against you, they had a lack of accountability. They had a lack of sense of who you really and truly is. Or somebody might be seeking. Oh, thank you, ancestors, for that. So it's like this. Somebody gonna come towards you that was seeking revenge against you. This may be a karmic, and this person that was in the group with this karmic, they is seeking revenge against this person. They gonna come show you screenshots. They gonna come show you text messages, a conversation, a quarter conversation, maybe a video recording, because this person made you try to make you lose your long-term wealth of gold. They knew you was the queen of swords. They didn't want to take accountability for what they did to you. Or somebody taking accountability, or somebody ain't taking accountability. And they had a lack of planning. When it came to you, they had a lack of planning. So this person that was in the group with this karmic that seeking that seek revenge towards you, that try to mess up your stability, your finances, make you try to lose your home, your car, your kids. You may have did. This person may did it. In the past, they want people to see you as the person you truly ain't. They were manipulating people. They were gaslighting people. This could be a queen of swords, male or female. They was very untruthful. They was very unfair in your energy. They had a lack of planning. They didn't want to take accountability. They had a lack of mindset against you. Because these people, they didn't want to see you as the queen of cups, very compassionate, nurturing, very giving, down, right, just beautiful and abundant. You know, you could be male or female, you know, but I'm picking up on the female for the Queen of Cups. You know, you could be a male, you could be a female, but I'm picking up on maybe it's maybe a male, it could be a female, but I'm kind of picking up on a female. You know, that's in the Queen of Cups. You know that you could be a Cancer, you could be a Gemini, you could be a Taurus. You know, it could be a Libra, it could be a Virgo. Got Libra out here twice. Got Aries, you know. But these people don't want to take accountability because they had a lack of planning when it came to you. They were seeking revenge. They were seeking revenge against you, against people that they know. This person that was in the group with these people that was seeking revenge, that manipulated people against you. That person gonna come in and want you to. They seek revenge against this karmic. They seek revenge against you. You know, they gonna come in and tell you this person did this to you, this person did that to you. You know, they want you to go off on this person. They want you to confront this person. They want you to just lose your mind on this person. Don't do it, Capricorn. Just say okay. Just take the information that you need and not like you ain't even got to confront the person because God and your angels and your ancestors sees everything these people are doing in your energy and around you. So you don't have to seek no kind of revenge. You don't have to seek nothing because God and your angel ancestors got you. You know, you ain't got to seek revenge on nobody. Just continue to do what you do. Pray and ask God for forgiveness. As you may be praying for this person, you may be forgiving this person. You know, you ain't gotta let that person know that, oh, I'm not gonna seek revenge against this person. I'm gonna go off like you ain't gotta say nothing to the person. You just say, okay. Just shake your head and say, okay. Just sitting there listening and they showing you stuff and you like, okay. And you may they may want to send it to you. So you might take the information, you keep it in the file or whatever, you write it down, you keep it in your phone, maybe you keep it you keep it somewhere safe, you know, and you ain't gonna confront nobody about nothing. This may be at an event, you know, this may be at a birthday party, I hear wedding, um, I hear passing of a loved one. Somebody might be passing, and the person may show up, you know, at the person's house, or you may be at an event, or something gonna happen. The person gonna approach you with this information. You know, just take it with a grain of salt. You know, just look at them and just shake your head, and you ain't gotta do nothing, cause your ancient ancestors gonna do it all for you. You know, because these people, because somebody was talking about you behind your back. You know, like these people they're seeking revenge. These person gonna come in and tell you everything that these people were doing behind your back, whatever saying behind you about you behind your back. You know, they may be it may be a sex video that this person want to show you of this person. You know, like you already know what this person was into. You already know what this person was doing behind the scenes. You know, like you is not like like these people want you to take comfort in chaos with this person, but you ain't gonna do it. You ain't gonna have no chaos and conflict with nobody. Your ancient ancestors ain't gonna let you do it. You know, you ain't gonna confront nobody. You ain't gonna have chaos with nobody. You ain't finna go back and forth with nobody. You know, like because you got the 9 of Pentacles here. You is worried about your investment. You worry about your long term investment and goal. You know you gonna enjoy your fruit of your labor. Your hard work is paying off, so you ain't finna confront nobody. You know when somebody bring you this, you gonna say, "Oh, right," because somebody wants you to sabotage your blessing. Somebody wants to sit back and watch and laugh at you and say, oh, I made her go off on him, or you know, they don't want to go off on this person. They don't want to seek revenge of this person because I feel like this person is a coward. You know, this person may be a coward. This person may be scared of this person, but you's not finna do that because you don't want to lose your stability. You don't want to lose your um, credibility, it may not even be no sex video. It might be a sex video, but somebody might want to record you going off on somebody, confronting somebody. Don't let it do it, because it might be about death spell. All the death spell that these people did on you is going back to sender. Like, it could, like, they're going to show you everything about these people sending you death spell, revenge spell, whatever. But like I said, these people had a lack of direction when it came to you. They didn't take time to value you as the person that you truly and what you was. They making a lack of a decision. They ain't paying attention to what they doing. They procrastinating. They trying to come towards you to make you have conflict and chaos with somebody because they don't left the group. They don't left the group and they said they mad at this person because this person probably made this person see you in a different light. So they don't want to confront that person. They want you to confront that person. But you ain't gonna confront that person because you up here worry about your investment. You worry about what you got going on. You finna enjoy your fruit of your labor. You ain't got time for the nonsense. You would take it with a grain of salt and keep moving. You got death here. Like these people are trying to cause death spell to you. Changes. They could be actually death. Somebody transitions. My condolences, Capricorn. Somebody could be passing away. Somebody could be a Scorpio because these people, you finna get recognition. These people didn't want you to get recognition, but you transform, like, these people see you in a different light, because these people didn't want to see you as a star. They didn't want to see you as a star. Can't show the card because this could be Aquarius. These people need to these people don't want to accept defeat. They don't want to move on. Somebody finding peace and happiness. This could be you. Like somebody accepting that they can't, that this could be a Scorpio. They accepting that they everything that they did is not working. Maybe they're gonna try 2 more times, but they're gonna fail. They need to accept it and move on. Somebody accepting something and moving on, and you finding peace in your life. Like I said, you gonna accept it. Whatever the person brings, you gonna accept it. You gonna move on. You're not gonna sit there and dwell on it. You're not gonna sit there and try to cause chaos and conflict in your energy. Cause somebody gonna try to bring you an offer. Or create like somebody want something about creative offer. Because you got a happy home, happy life, but this person want to have a true cup with you. Such a celebration. Sending gratitude to the divine and the angels for the peace of prosperity. This is you. You and your person coming together. You getting your prosperity. You getting your nine of pentacles. You getting your happy home, happy life. Like, you ain't got time for the nonsense in your life. Because somebody sees you as the angel. You got the star card here again. Like, these people didn't want to see you at the start. They had a lack of faith in you. They had a lack of trust in you. And when they did that, they pulled out their blessing, And then they got to accept that you no longer want to be around them. They got to accept that you no longer want to deal with them. They got to accept that they got your energy. Because somebody ain't doing their meditation. Somebody ain't contemplating. Somebody is exhausted. They burnt out. They having sleepless nights. They up all night. They doing the most, they overindulging in sex and alcohol and drugs or whatever. Like, you put that they just want to see you at the start. They losing their mind. They losing everything around them. Like this person, like somebody is a dreamer. This could be you or the person in your energy, but you is a dreamer. Like you dreaming for a better life. You dreaming for a better situation. You dreaming for all your prosperity and abundance coming through. Archangel Mantra is here. He gonna bring you in there every last one of your manifestation. Like you gonna walk away. Like somebody could be leaving in the middle of the night. You're a dreamer. You got a new start. You trust in yourself. You pushing your fears aside and taking a leap of faith to what you need to do. Like I said, this could be a king of pentacles in your energy. That's not very trustworthy. That's not even once you have a fresh start. This king of pentacles this king of pentacles is take what resonate, leave what don't. You know, this king of pentacles could be compassionate, accomplished, and charismatic, and grounded in a time of great success, or this king of pentacles is not. They're not truthful. They're not. They didn't want to give you recognition. You know, or somebody going through death or rebirth. This king of pentacles could be going through death or rebirth. Take with resonate, leave with don't. Someone could be astral traveling in their dream. Cause these people trying to silence you, you know, cause there was a meeting in the family room about you. You stepping into your new beginning. 12-12. You got your spiritual alignment. You know, 2-2, love, partnership, and career and finance. This is your reading, Capricorn. I see y'all next.